What is going on, everybody? This is another episode of First and Framerates, and this is the Silent Gamer, and I have my co-host Bills. What's going on, man?
What's going on, people? Time to dig into a lot of great topics today.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on a few things. I've been in the dark. I've been in here setting up some things in this room as far as gaming goes, as well as playing some games. Been off for a few days, and I had no idea that this NBA 2K18 trailer came out. Bills came across and just told me that I need to look at it before we started, and I just looked at it, and bruh. I mean, this could be the my first reaction to it, but I've been gaming for years. I have tons of games. I mean, I don't need to talk about how many games I have. I have 15 different consoles in this room.
Yep.
I have a PC. I've been playing sports titles for a very long time, and I haven't seen visuals like this since NBA 2K14.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not even saying that high of quality is just these were the first graphics that are visuals that I've seen that made me actually sit back and be like, what am I looking at?
Like the level of detail that they okay, so like the way I'll put it is like for years people were talking about things being photorealistic. But until you see this trailer, you wouldn't get that those things really don't look photorealistic. This game looks as close to photorealistic as you're going to get in motion.
Man,
screenshots are great, but when the trailer was in motion, just the way they're moving around, the emotion on their face, the way the jerseys fit, the way the jerseys wrinkle up in certain situations when they're moving, everything looks crazy. Man. And if this game plays anything like I'm hearing like it plays, damn, man.
I mean, just look at it like this. People are now, they got the PS4 Pro. A lot of people just started playing NBA 2K17 on the Pro. Mm-hmm. I mean, even back then, I think, NBA 2K16 and maybe 15, I'm pretty sure these games ran at 60 frames.
Yep.
I looked at this trailer at 60 frames, and I'm looking at these guys move. I'm looking at the jerseys. I'm looking at the skin texture. I'm looking at the eyes. I'm looking at the hair. And I'm looking like, I mean, I'm just going to put it out there and say, look, those facial scans, they look good on that NBA Live app. And I've seen some gameplay and some movement from NBA Live 18.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest with you, the only thing Live got to lean on is gameplay. They cannot mess with this game as far as visuals. I'm sorry, they just can't. They can't.
Nah, this game is on a whole new level. I thought MLB The Show 17 looked crazy. Man, this game is on a totally different level, man, as far as visuals. It's not even close.
I mean, it's not even about, like we white knight and a fanboy, and I know what my eyes see. I know what my eyes see, and I'm not saying that it's the better game, but if you put these two games side by side, I mean, what are you looking at?
Right. I mean, it's not close. It's really not close. Live, and don't get me wrong, Live looks great, but 2K just is on another level. That they've changed the body scans to where, the shoulders look more realistic. The jersey fits even better. You can see, certain differences between dudes who are, similar weights, but their bodies are completely different. And that's something that Live they haven't really gotten it yet. So, I mean, they're a couple years off.
And my thing is, I'm just amazed that I'm just happy that I see a game that looks this good. I mean, because you always when you're young and you're just trying to get into gaming, and you always look at television, you be like, oh, I want my games to look like that, or I want I want this to look like this, and why this game look like that, and you finally see something that looks damn near like television. I haven't seen it on broadcast mode or anything like that, but if you have your TV, set up a certain way to watch sports games, or I mean like sports events, and you put this on, I'm really curious to see what this look like, because up close and looking at these players, they look like you're looking at a real life counterpart. It's like
I
you
mean,
said,
let's be honest. We used to get CGI trailers that look like this.
you would want CGI trailers to look like this.
Well, yeah.
I'm just gonna put it
yeah.
like this: CGI, you can see CGI. You'd be like, okay,
Right.
that's CGI because it has that video game look.
Yeah.
This right here, you know, it's a video game, but you can't believe that it looks this good.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen pictures side by side with Gordon Hayward in real life and Gordon Hayward, the picture they released of him, and I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at the NBA.
Yeah.
We were looking at the NBA 2K17 versus 18 photos, but when we finally saw that Gordon Hayward one, I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
You can actually put these pictures up against real life photos and give or take the lighting in, the picture in real life. I mean, it'll look damn near the same.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, I mean, what does this say about the game or the competition that's in hand with Live and 2K18? What does it say about these two? I mean, when I look at the game, and I'm gonna throw it to you once I say this, when you look at these visuals,
right,
and you know what kind of society we're in, we're not talking about the sim community per se. We're talking about just people in general. When you look at this and people are like, okay, I'll see this, it looks amazing, but you see over there, Live is doing their thing. I'm gonna talk from a casual standpoint. Yeah, NBA Live is cool. They're making strides, and you see the WNBA is in there. But let's be honest, who's one of the biggest names right now in the NBA that they pretty much nailed his visuals? You look at Lonzo Ball, they nailed his visuals like perfect.
And he's a rookie.
But look, he's the big sensation everybody's talking about. So when they say, "Oh, I want to play with Lonzo Ball because of his dad," or everybody think he's good, and the Lakers about to come back to their old glory and about to be a big time team again, and they see somebody look at well, I ain't gonna say somebody. When you see Lonzo Ball looking that good, or you see somebody else who's a Sixers fan or who's a Pelicans fan or whatever team, and they see their favorite player look that good, what does that say about Live? And yeah, they got the WNBA, which I think is great, but let's be honest, what does that say about the competition between the two?
I mean, that's the thing that's crazy to me is like like a lot of times people say, well, if Michael Jordan wasn't playing in the 90s and this guy would have a championship. Well, I could go back to 2005 or 2004 and say, oh, look, if NFL 2K5 didn't come out, Madden 05 would have been the best football game that year. But, I mean, it goes without saying. Live 18, I should say, looks great. But 2K18 looks so much better that Live 18 probably won't even get the credit it deserves for how good it looks, how good it plays, because 2K18 is just going to blow them out of the water. Well, it's two different playing fields.
Well, just look at the year when Live 15 came out versus 2K15.
Yep.
2K15 played really good. Live 15 played really good, but do you look at the visuals?
Yeah.
I mean, Live 15 didn't look bad, but I mean, 2K just they get people on the visuals. And they knocked it out the park with this one again, because I mean, you see the up and down backlash people are giving the WNBA already. I think it's a great idea, but you just have some people, and I know some people who I game with on PC or whatever else other platform. Some people just literally do not play with female characters in games. They just don't. They just refuse to. So and I think it's stupid, because I don't want to play with a female character. I play with Lara Croft. I play with Ellie and The Last of Us. I play with the female characters in Uncharted. I mean, hell, I play with female characters in some of the shooters I play on PC.
Fighting games.
Yeah, fighting games. There you go. I can't believe I forgot that. But but you just have people who don't want to play with them, and there are some people that are not even gonna say in this community, but you just have some people who don't even know about us, that are just casual gamers. They see that, they be like, oh, that's their attempt to come back, they're just gonna bring some women in the game. They don't care, because they don't even play with women in the I mean, that's just the real aspect of it. That's just how
Yeah.
people think. And to me, it's unfortunate because, like I said, NBA Live 18 could be a great basketball game.
Yep.
And if they did anything to, if they did anything to enhance Live 15, trust me, I will play it a lot because I still put Live 15 in high regard. But
I mean, but thank God, and I can't even say this for sure yet because we haven't got the details. But I mean, thank God 2K didn't have some type of contract with WNBA because then Live will look even worse. Because I mean,
oh my God,
it's like Live is just it's that game where you're just playing for second place. 2K really is out ahead right now. It would take a lot for Live to catch up. I mean, 2K is making improvements every year with gameplay, and even though they have shortcomings as far as going up against a computer, the improvements they make to the game yearly and the depth they make to the game, they give the game, I should say, as far as all the playbooks and freelance sets and all the different defensive settings they're adding. I mean, Live doesn't even really have more than 2 freelance sets right now. Like, they're just starting to add this depth as far as gameplay is concerned, but once you go above and beyond gameplay, like 2K is like way out in front.
Well, and let's not get everybody, I ain't gonna say that, but let's not everybody get their what in a bunch.
Right.
We're not saying that 2K18 is better than Live 18.
Yeah.
We're just looking at the cycle that goes on every year with these two games. You look at NBA 2K, you look at Live, and you see where 2K just does something that makes people want to go to that game. Live has so many shortcomings with marketing. They the flaws in the game. People don't take the game serious. And with Live 14 was a decent game, but those visuals in that game compared to 2K14 visuals,
awful.
I mean, come on. I mean, when you saw LeBron James talking in NBA 2K14, and you saw how those guys looked in Live, it's like, I mean, and we're speaking for casuals. That the people they're not looking at Live when they see that, and when you look at that, made Live 15 suffer so bad when that released, and it was a good game.
Yep.
And, and then I'm not even going to talk about Live 16. And to me, Live 16 don't exist. I mean, that's just me. That game was just something that just threw out there. That game was abysmal. I don't know I kind of know how you feel about it, but
I mean,
I don't like the game. The game was terrible for me.
Live 16 went back to NBA Live 09 for me. It's just like very few of the layups at the backboard, if any, which is an eyesore, quite frankly, because that's not real basketball. And, they lacked a lot of fundamentals in the game. The movement, as far as the players moving, the defenders, and the ball handlers, was pretty good. I think it was better than 2K, actually, as far as shifting is concerned. Wasn't much shifting in NBA Live.
No, not at all. Not at all. I agree with that.
I can definitely credit them for that. But they lacked the depth and animations that 2K had. They lacked the post game. And once again, the freelance sets, people don't always want to call a play every time down. Sometimes you just want your freelance sets to flow, and you can be able to react to the defense, accordingly, instead of having to call a play every time down the court. So that was another shortcoming. But I mean, overall, I think they missed a good chance with Live 16, man.
No, I mean, they really did. I mean, that whole marketing deal, sitting there bringing everybody out, and you had these placeholders for avatars for people looking the way they look in the game, and
that was major. That was a major hiccup.
That was real bad. You had NBA players sitting here like, "Yo, this is not me."
Yeah.
And when NBA players who you got to understand, millions of people follow NBA players like Rudy Gobert. Yep. Rudy Gobert is a above average player, but he has millions of followers. And when he tweets out, "Yo, Live 16, why do I look like this in the game?"
And Kristaps Porzingis and people like that.
It's going out to millions of people that follow them, and they be like, "Oh, that's how they treat my favorite player." I'm not buying.
Oh, and another thing. Live on this console generation has still not had the ability to edit players. Still.
Hold on, talking about Live 18 don't have the ability to.
Live 18 might have it. It hasn't been confirmed yet whether they will or not. But Live 14, Live 15, Live 16, none of them had the ability to edit players or rosters. Big time issue.
Live 18 better have that. I'm gonna tell you something. If they don't have it, I'm not saying it's not gonna be a purchase for me. It's gonna take some time for me to say, okay, I may buy this down the road.
People don't understand how important that is.
No, they don't.
If I just want to play a game and play now, and I can't adjust the starting lineup prior to that, I can't adjust the plays that are called for a certain guy prior to that, I can't edit a guy's ratings if I feel like they got something wrong. I can't edit his equipment, which I'm a big time accessory guy.
Oh my god! And you seen the things that 2K did with accessories?
Yeah, I mean, the way they adjust these accessories yearly. I mean, and especially this year, as far as making them look more realistic and how they fit the player and the lighting and making sure the colors match the color of the uniforms, all that type of stuff that they talked about in the video. I mean, it's crazy, man. The material, you can tell that it's the same material would be if you were wearing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, bottom line, Live needs to get that, if anything.
Yeah.
They really need to let us customize our lineups, players, numbers, jerseys.
Because they have all the equipment in the game. It's just I don't want to sit and wait for a roster update, and then the roster update turns out to be a flop because, to be honest, I just don't feel like
that's another. That's another thing. I don't know about Live 16, but I know Live 15. The roster updates weren't too good on Live.
No,
they haven't been doing too well with roster updates for a while now.
No,
so that kind of got me worried as well. But anyway, we can segue that into another topic since we're talking about customization and roster updates and all the stuff. All right, just say for instance, if I want to change my roster based on, let's say, VC, or if I wanted to create a Madden Ultimate team, because I had this talk on Twitter. And some people were like kind of feeling some kind of way about microtransactions. I want to put it out there. I'm not a proponent for microtransactions on online play. Let's say if I want to beef up my team to beat somebody else online, because people already online already do dumb shit to win without the microtransactions. So just to add the money to it could be an issue.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, like, if I wanted to play Madden Ultimate Team offline, or if I wanted to level up my character on my NBA 2K and play with him through a my team career, or not my team, but my player career, or even with my GM, I'm gonna ask you, is that really a problem? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, especially with Madden, if I get this game, I don't have any interest in CFM as of right now. I don't have any interest in CFM. So if I do play Madden Ultimate Team and go through the whole gauntlet or whatever they call it, and I spend money, is that a problem?
I mean, I don't see the issue. If you're trying to have fun by yourself without playing online, and you want to spend VC to do it, I don't get why anybody else should have a problem with it. It's not like you're going online and having a souped up team that can't be beaten and you're making it so it's not fun for others. This is something you're doing yourself.
And now, mind you, I'm gonna continue to play within the confines I know how to play. And
same football.
That's the only way I know how to play. I can't play. I don't even know. I mean, I just heard about Swerve last year. But I never knew what that was. But people were talking about. I haven't even seen it in the game. I just know about the term.
I mean, I got a story that I can tell y'all that me and my cousins were doing MUT before MUT even existed. Let me tell you what we did. I remember back on Madden 05 when you could create a team. You know what we did? We went and we literally, me and my cousins would make teams based on the all-pro rosters and the best players in the game. We would say, what players fit my team. I'm going to get them on my team. I'm going to get all my favorite players and put them on my team. I'm going to make sure they all play together the way they're supposed to, make sure they all fit. Then I'm going to go and pick a system that I want them to run. Everything was great. That's just like Mutt. What is the issue? If I want Ray Lewis on my team with back then Tequila Spikes and I want Champ Bailey and Ty Law in the same, like, why can't I do that? Me and my cousin were literally just going to play against each other in a play now game. We're having fun. The teams pretty much end up being even because all of them, both of the teams, basically like Pro Bowl rosters with the uniforms we made. I don't get the issue. We're not taking them online.
I mean, I can care less. I don't even play online anyway. But
right. We were doing Mutt before Mutt, bro. I mean that's Mutt at its core.
And me personally, as far as Mutt go, I remember playing in Madden 05 or Madden 07 and actually playing the game and getting the Madden cards. I mean, you actually had to play the game and get a bunch of tokens, and you get the Madden cards, and that's
that Madden card shit. Now that was some. I can't even really call it cheating, but it was interesting. Yeah, it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going back and get Steve Young, or if I got a Joe Montana, or
I got the Ray Lewis card.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I remember those. But those things were very fun. But I'm just saying from a standpoint to where. I got a lot of people opinions on that, say, oh, they'll never buy microtransactions or whatever the case may be. But I don't get it because a lot of people, I'm not saying them, but a lot of people do it. I don't see it no different than me buying premium on Battlefield. I mean, people say, oh, yeah, there's map packs versus players. I get that. Or map packs versus shoes. I get that. But you can buy weapons. I mean, shout out to LT. Me and LT was talking about this earlier on Twitter, and he was like, well, he understands where it's comparable if you use weapons as the same line as I can get a dunk package. Yep. I mean, because it still enhances the game, but for me, I'm not trying to go online and play with others. I just want my player to play better, and if I got a few bucks and I want to spend that, I don't see an issue with that.
No, I agree. I don't see. I mean, if they had, DLC to download to be able to, make all your players on your team gold star players, or at least make it so that 5 of your guys could be gold star players on All Pro Football 2K8, I would have bought that shit.
Well, I mean, I'm just going back to the comparison. What's the difference of that compared to me buying some cars on Forza?
No difference.
What's the difference between me, buying a character on a fighting game?
Right. I mean, like, at the end of the day, if I go online and take these teams online, that's different. That's causing the game to be less fun for people who don't choose to spend money, to go online and compete. But if this is something I'm doing personally, then that's something I choose to do. I mean, I don't get the issue. I don't get what's so morally, unjust about this.
Right. And I mean, some people could say, oh, you can buy all this VC and you can level up your character to be max, but still, if you're playing sim ball, it's still going to be a challenge for you.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? If I'm playing my player and I'm, if I max out my character, because you can't do 99s across the board anymore. Right. Let's just say if you max out your character, which, I don't plan on doing that, but I mean, I don't mind spending a little bit of money to at least get them up to the average of the NBA player. And,
right.
If I was to max them out, I'm still going to have shortcomings, especially if I play it on a higher difficulty. And like I said, that just goes back to what I'm saying. I don't have really a big interest in Madden 18 CFM as of right now. I just don't, because we talked about this earlier. It hasn't getting any love. So I mean, 2K, that blog, we talked about that last podcast. My God, but I'm kind of inclined to playing that. But my reason behind that is I have two franchises already going on in basketball. I have a college one and I have a pro one on another game. Now, would I want to add a third one to that, or would I drop the ones on the other games? That's remained to be seen. But from what that list, from that blog they had, it's really tempting. But as of right now, that's the route I want to go.
I mean, if we're being honest, we talked about this several times, in the past few years about how we feel that in the lottery, a guy should come out rated higher than he is in my player. If my guy was drafted first overall, he shouldn't be a 56 overall.
I mean, he should.
You know what I'm saying?
If he's
it's just not
overall,
logical.
Right. If he's overall that, I mean, you look at players now coming into the league, they're like 80s now.
Right.
Top 3 picks. So why am I going through a mind player?
Exactly.
And I'm the top 3 or top 4 pick, and I'm like a 61.
Because the thing is, if they're already going to have you not go through D-League, not go through Summer League, and I get to the NBA and I'm starting, and then I didn't have to go through anybody to start, then why am I not at 80? And what is wrong with me going and getting VC to up the particular, traits I need to up and particular skills I need to up to be just good enough to where I'm like, okay, I was a lottery pick. This is how a lottery pick will play. And then I can even boost the game up to Hall of Fame. I wouldn't be dominating.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to find exploits in the game like the shot clock cheese and up my guys' ratings and then say, oh, I'm the greatest player ever. Like, I'm simply trying to get my guy to a point where he can hang with dudes in the NBA, because that's what lottery picks do for the most part. They are able to hang with NBA players.
Well, and another reason behind this whole logic is because these games don't give you that anymore.
No.
And, they don't give you the grind. NBA Live did a pretty decent job of it in 16.
Right.
The game that I think that's irrelevant to me. One shining thing about that. There's 2 shining things about that game. Was what is it called? Is it My Team or My Park or?
What is it called?
When you got to play on the courts.
Live run?
Not live run. It was called something else. But anyway,
whatever it's called.
Yeah, that right there. And the fact that you didn't have to pay to level up, I like that. Mm-hmm. And then it's still optional in 2K, but it's like, if I have the choice that I want to do that, why is that an issue?
Right.
That's the way I look at it. But I don't know. It's just with the Madden Ultimate Team thing.
My Park. That's what it's called.
Yeah, My Park. That's what it is. I'm so stupid or whatever. Well, anyway, that's what I was wondering about, because it's like I don't have any desire to play Madden on that level. And even with 2K, for instance, and like I said, I got my reasons because of I have 2 franchises running on 2 other basketball games right now.
Right.
I don't have the desire to do it now. Will I drop one of the basketball games? Yes. And I'm not even going to talk about the football. I got dynasties that are just sitting on my save files that I can pick up and play anytime, all the way from original Xbox to hell, I even got a Madden 17 CFM. I still got saved. So it's like from that to all the way up to the current gen games, I have a franchise to dibble and dabble in. I've been playing the original Xbox more now, but I just need something to make me drop those games to play their franchise modes, and sadly, especially with Madden, their franchise modes just been lackluster. And we could talk about this for a second. Where do you see franchise modes in Madden for the next 2 to 5 years? Where do you see that?
I'll say this. Based on the gameplay improvements they're making, I think that franchise without being touched will be a better mode, because they added the coach adjustments, which is cool, outside of the mode and inside of the mode. That'll add a different dynamic to the game, each game you play. At the same time, they're still behind the 8 ball as far as other franchise modes. So next 2-3 years, they're really going to have to work on the interface, making things more accessible from the home screen. They're going to have to work on depth immersion as far as how they present this franchise mode. They're going to have to work on adding things that are part of NFL seasons and running teams that they don't have in. The list is too long for me to even go over these things. Little things like how they keep track of stats. and you know the preparation for the week against a certain opponent. I mean, if you go back to, for example, Madden on PS2, they would point to certain players and certain plays and say, this player is really good at this. We're going to use this play to stop it.
Right, I remember that.
And it's now they have it where you can game plan against a certain play, but it just doesn't feel the same because usually a player would be pinpointed. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, players aren't really pinpointed. It's more so the play. That's not really how NFL teams prepare week to week, at least the impression I've gotten from watching things like Hard Knocks and listening to several coaches talk. That's not really how they prepare. So they need to get a more realistic feel of how teams prepare each week. The confidence ratings, we're going to have to see how they work out this year. There were a lot of times, based on a win or a loss, your team's confidence would either be too high or too low. So that's something that we're going to have to wait and see in Madden 18. But I mean, just overall, we just need more immersion, man. We need more immersion. It's how you present the franchise mode is a lot, as far as impact, like that impacts the most, like how you present your franchise mode to everybody. From the moment I load up my franchise, the screen, the home screen, it just needs to jump out more. It needs to be more accessible.
I don't even think that's the case as far as it being accessible. I just think it needs to be just revamped because everything is there. It's just bare bones.
Right.
And with that being said, is they need to enhance the franchise mode where you feel like you're in tune with the team. Look, I'm playing franchise mode right now.
Yep.
Madden 07. Original Xbox. I've been playing that for the past few days, and Madden 07 for the original Xbox basically has life.
Mm-hmm.
It feels alive. It has the Tony Bruno show. It has the matchups. It gives you a PDA where you pull down. People don't know what a PDA is. It's basically like a little phone/tablet.
Yep.
Where you open up that PDA and it tells you, okay, this person to look out for, that person to look out for. This is what you need to do against him. This is the plays you need to run against this defense. This is the play you need to run against that defense. In Madden 17, they did a decent job of trying to give you more options, like, more things to practice on to get the silver, bronze, and gold based on, like, this team like the runs cover 2 or cover 3. That's not a bad idea. But what Madden 07 did, they don't give you the formation that they like to run. They give you their favorite plays that they like to run. So
exactly.
It's not just the formation, because you can look at a formation and be like, okay, that's cover 3, but you don't know what they're doing in that cover 3. Madden 07 gave you the type of blitzes they would run, who's going to blitz, who's going to drop back, and you need to run this play to combat it. And based on how many times you ran that play in practice is how effective it will be in the game. Madden 17 has done that, but it's just not all the way there. You look at the progression of players. Progression of players don't seem like it works very well based on their performance. It just seems like it just goes up based on the VC or the XP that you get. Madden 07, it went up based on their performance. There was no XP to allocate. You didn't give them points. You didn't give them like traits. It was just natural. If this person got 2 picks in a game, you wait a couple of weeks, you look at his attributes, his hands will go up by 2 or 3 points. That I don't see where that is just as logical as day to me. If they get 7 or 8 tackles in a game, their tackle rating goes up.
Another thing,
that's beautiful to me.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
Another thing, the auto subs logic in preseason games. Me and you are 2 of the only people I know that even play preseason games, but preseason games are very important to me, and sub out logic is very important to me.
Right.
And when I see running backs as the number one receiver, and I see linebackers in positions, they shouldn't be in, and I see starters on special teams, they need to fix the auto subs logic. And, you got things like the third string quarterback seems to never get in. I think you should be able to set it before the game. Just be able to preset it. Just give us the option to preset it before the game. And I brought this up to DJ81. I brought it up where I feel like, going into camp, you should be able to decide, okay, do we have a set starter? If we do have a set starter, is there anybody on his heels? If you don't have a set starter, is there a quarterback competition? If there is a quarterback competition, you should be able to regiment how many quarters these guys are going to play or how many snaps, whether you want to break it down by quarter or snaps. If there's a position battle anywhere, you should be able to break that down and regiment it instead of going in the game and having to do it one by one, and after the second quarter starts, you got to go and make sure that the running back's not, first string receiver or something like that. Like, they just need to fix the auto subs logic. It's very important in preseason. Very important.
I could agree with that as well. It's just the CFM. I'm gonna look at it like I think the next 3 to 5 years. Honestly, I think it's going to be phased out. I hate to say it, but it's going to be phased out to the point where I ain't gonna say it's not going to be in the game. It's just going to be there.
Right.
And I don't think it's going to get any attention that it deserves because we're looking at a situation. Now, look at me. I'm actually considering, just putting money into microtransactions, and it's not because I want a sim experience. I just this is what the game is at this point. I don't look at it as a full-on sim. I look at it as a low-tier simulation game where, it looks sim, it plays sim at times, but you're not going to get that experience to where you can just play and feel like you have to really dig deep into the game of football. Same thing with NBA 2K. I think it's going to be there, but I don't think it's going to be a game where you can dig deep and really be a full-on sim experience. So with that being said, I'm just going to play these for fun because, like I said, I could make a case where you actually have to strategize in the older titles compared to the ones in the newer titles. Just like all the stuff you just said, the preseason stuff, the rosters, auto sub stuff, the stuff on the field that matchups really matter. Not saying that they don't, but it's like there's no emphasis on that, especially in CFM is not there. Maybe it'll be in Madden 18, but as of right now, we all know CFM didn't get that much love, so what is there to hang our hat on?
Right. I mean, and that's the thing, like I said. Now, I might play CFM this year, and it might be great. They might have all these coach adjustments, and it might really immerse me in, because we haven't gotten a CFM blog, so we don't know that it's been completely untouched. They might have added some things that are, things needed, but it hasn't gotten the overhaul that we want it to get. So until that happens, CFM will continue to be something that is improved in increments, but never really given that full attention that these other franchise, modes get.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing about it because, I don't mind going into playing Madden Ultimate Team now. I'm just in a different mindset. I don't mind going back and playing Madden Ultimate Team offline and paying a little bit of money or whatever, or VCing my character in 2K and just leveling up. I don't care because there's nothing there to make me say, "Whoa, I want to get into that franchise mode." So, later on this week, or in a few days or whatever, we're getting NBA Live 18 demo.
Yes, we are.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited, man. I'm ready to dig into this game. I wasn't as excited prior to, seeing a lot of the gameplay, and I heard that the game was progressing and looked better and played better. I heard it from a lot of people that are reliable sources. Then you see the gameplay and you're like, damn, that looks pretty good. Most importantly, player control. And like I said, movement, which are two of the most important things to me. in any sports video game is the freedom of movement. I talk about this all the time. So for me, I'm excited to see what they've done, how good the game is, how it stacks up against last year's 2K, because that's really all we can really stack it up to besides Live 16 is how does it stack up against its competitor? How does it stack up against NBA 2K17? And once I see that, then, we can go on to EA Access and the launch of the game, and we'll go from there. But I really don't know what to expect. I'm eager to see exactly what they've done, to be honest.
I'm really excited. I really want to see how this game plays. I'm not hyped, but I'm more excited just to see the progressor.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what they've done. That's my main thing. Because I'm still on the fence of actually buying the game. Because personally, I think the game is, based on everything that everybody who's been following Live, the consumers, and what we've been through for the past 3.5 years, I honestly think the game should be $39.99.
I agree.
I don't see how that's not fair. I doubt if they can easily even drop the price like that because of NBA contract or whatever. But I think that for just thank you for sticking it out with us, we're knocking $20 off the price. I don't see a problem with that.
It would be great if they were just like, hey, if you bought 14, 15, 16, here's this game for free.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for putting up with us,
Right.
But I saw the screenshots. I saw the gameplay. The gameplay with the NBA players, basic fundamentals. Guys got animations just like their real life counterparts.
Especially Kyrie.
Yes,
and I'm hearing I'm hearing based on that build that they played on, they didn't even have a quarter of his layup package in there, in his moves, which is insane to me, because that means they've really dug deep as far as getting every player's moves into the game. So that's good.
Well, God forbid that 2K has all this moves too, because there's a certain YouTuber out here saying that that they're stealing moves from Live when Live is taking moves from Kyrie. But let's not go there. But but anyway, like I was saying, is they have everything down based on what I've saw. That little, based on a little bit of gameplay, I saw the layups went up nice. People don't realize. We talked about this earlier. People don't realize how important layups off the glass is in basketball. You do not. People that are basketball heads, you do not lay the basketball up consistently without the ball touching the glass. That's basketball 101. And for people who defended that, either they want to keep talking about this game under good light, so they want to keep white knighting it, or they just ignorant to basketball. Now, which one they want to pick, it's up to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's fundamentals. And I saw that, and I'm actually excited just for that little bit. I saw the movement, I saw the spacing, I saw the passing, the shooting was on point. Like I said, the animation, I didn't see any post moves. And, I'm kind of weary about that, but... I
heard that they worked on the post game, but I think the thing about it was because the EA Play dudes didn't really have an extended amount of time on the sticks, the post game might actually have a bit of depth to it, to the point where they would have to kind of learn how to, play in the post, which is encouraging.
Right.
And that's what the demo is for. So, at the end of the day, we're definitely gonna see what that post game is about. I can't imagine it being any worse than it was, that's for sure.
Oh, no. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine. It's just that based on what I saw, I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah. But when I saw the women, on the other hand, when I saw the trailer with the women, I didn't see any of their layups go off the glass.
Nope.
And in women's basketball, the layup is essential. They live and die by the layup, and you can't tell me if they can't do that, which I'm pretty sure they can. But
Right.
if it's to the point where they're not laying the ball above the glass, I'm pretty sure even some WNBA players who play the game are actually going to say, like, look, this is wrong. I wasn't taught this way. Why is this in the game? Why is it not done right?
I mean, I'll go as far as saying you will not see more than 2 or 3 layups per WNBA game. Because I watch that WNBA a lot, actually, surprisingly. That's the only amount of downtime, between major sports that I have to watch the WNBA. It's basically the only thing on. I don't really watch baseball that much, so I watch it a lot. You'll probably only see 2 or 3 layups go in that didn't hit the backboard.
I mean, I played basketball when I was young, and rest in peace, Coach Bell. He was my first coach, but he would tell us, that was the first thing he taught us.
Yep.
That square on the glass, you aim for that.
It's your friend.
It's your friend. You aim for that when you're laying it up. Yep. So for them not to have this in a professional sports game, right. I mean, and I know we're just like making a big stink about this, but
yeah.
it's
important, people. Trust me.
It's very important. I mean, I said this on a live stream somebody was having one time, and they were just constantly laying the ball up. I was like, look, would you teach your son to lay up that way? I mean, it's just simple. Would you teach your son or your daughter that wants to play basketball, would you teach them to lay up like that every single time?
I mean, because...
and just think about it. And if they did, go see how many teams that they're going to make when they try out.
Because that's the thing. This is the thing, people. Not a lot of people in this world are athletic enough to put their hand up by the rim and lay the ball up like that without hitting the backboard. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's there
physics
for.
Doesn't allow for it.
That's what it's there for.
You know what I'm saying? So most people have to hit the backboard on their layups because nobody has their hand at the rim. Well, I shouldn't say nobody because, in my day, I say in my day, I'm 24, but, when I played basketball, because I don't really play that much anymore, my hand was up there, but, I wasn't banging on dudes, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have the lift to do that on a consistent basis. I most times had to use a backboard.
And the fact that these women don't have that kind of lift, that's the reason why they use the backboard.
Exactly.
When I saw that in Live 16, it would just irk my nerves. It was like, yo, I'm doing a Euro step, and he's laying it up. He's finger rolling it over the rim. No. It was a pet peeve of mine. Now, mind you, the fact that you have some women in the NBA that can dunk, and we saw the gameplay trailer of women dunking. I know you had some issues about that.
Oh, man.
And so, tell us how you feel about the dunks, man.
Like I said, I've seen Brittany Griner dunk. I've seen all of her videos online of her dunking. She has never in her life put the ball behind her head, 2 hands, tomahawk. She doesn't do that. Like, I'm sorry. It was a bit much. It was a bit much. I'll just say it was a bit much. She can't do that.
I don't have a problem if women can dunk. I don't have a problem with it.
Right.
But it can be a little over excessive. But
yeah.
I guess that, Live never really took itself seriously when it come to stuff like this. So
yeah, like if she did the simple dunks, like the first 2 dunks were fine. Then at the very end, they had to sneak in a dunk of her, like fucking dunking on somebody like Shaq, hanging on the rim, and she cocked it behind her head. I'm like, come on, man, like, come on, like she can't do that. I'm sorry, she can't do that. But other than that, I mean, hey, as long as we don't see that in the game,
it's there, bro. It's there. If they showed it in there, it's there. And the fact that they showed it in that light, you're going to see a lot of that.
I mean, yeah, I hope she's not like dunking every time down the court, bro.
I'm just curious to see how the women play. Is it just going to be a totally different game style, or are these guys going to be playing, not these guys, but are these women going to be playing like the guys?
I would hope they would have, well, see, that's the thing, like, it would be hard for Live to add like completely different animations for them as far as layups and things, because most of them aren't athletic enough to even do most of the crazy layups that you see in the NBA these days. But I mean, as long as the game is played under the rim, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I can't say no more to that. I agree.
Yeah,
Um, Man, we're less than an hour in, and we pretty much touched everything that we wanted to touch. Anything that's on your mind, real quick? I
yeah, we
mean,
got we got a couple more. We got the preseason game. We got to talk about. Remember,
yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
much to take from it, but we might
yeah.
as
I
well.
mean, you can talk about it. I didn't take nothing much from it. I did like the tight end that they had, that Dallas had, and I
Yeah,
also that's one person I like. He caught a few good catches. Look like he's gonna make the team.
hell yeah.
And I mean, obviously, I saw Buda Baker, the safety for Arizona. I mean, he's gonna make the team regardless, but he looked really good.
Right.
That other than that, I mean, Trevor Knight, the quarterback from Arizona,
Hmm.
he needs some more.
Yeah.
He needs some more polishing to do, because I can see him actually taking over at the Carson Palmer go, but he clearly needs some more polishing.
Trevor Knight looks like a really good athlete, like crazy good athlete. That's what
Yeah,
stuck out to me.
yeah.
5 for 14 passing, got to work on that. 68 yards. It's the first preseason game, so I'm not gonna put too much stock into it. Blaine Gabbert, 11 for 14, 185. I'm sorry. We were being told that Blaine Gabbert was one of the best quarterbacks coming out of college, and then he got to the pros and he forgot how to, read blitzes and read defenses, and he held onto the ball too long. He got sacked twice in this game. Um, he needs to learn how to get the ball out faster, and he needs to be more accurate. I mean, 11 for 14 in this game. He wasn't really playing against their starting defense, so you can't really put much stock into that. But overall, I mean, it was one of the more entertaining Hall of Fame games I've seen. I will say that.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game at
Um,
all. It just, when I look at the players that stood out, it wasn't nothing that wowed me.
right.
Like you said with Blaine Gabbert, I don't see him being the long-term answer in
No.
Arizona. Um, I would lean more on Trevor Knight, because Trevor
Hmm.
Knight is younger, and they already have a quarterback in place, so he can be behind the scenes for a while. And
Right.
like I said, he's younger than Blaine, so it'd be more viable for them to groom him. But for him to be his first game, like I said, it's going to be rough. I didn't expect much from him. Matter of fact, I didn't even know that Arizona picked him up. So
Hmm.
to me, it was like, okay, whatever. That he's there, so I didn't take nothing from it.
Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is a funny situation because it seems like he could never get a break. Like, he always balls in preseason. More the same here. 12 for 17, 182. He did have a pick. It's whatever. Alfred Morris looks like he has his legs under him. He looked a lot better.
That's gonna be a pretty good situation for him
Oh yeah,
if Ezekiel Elliott get suspended.
definitely.
It's going to be a pretty good situation for him. He could be easily looking for somewhere else to go,
Hmm.
or if Dallas decide to run a two running back system, which Dallas really never did that. I mean, you got to think about
No.
it. I mean, they never
I
really.
mean, if you go back to the Felix Jones and Marion Barber days, that was the only time I can really think of
Yeah,
it.
I mean that's the only time you can remember him doing it. But
Yeah.
it's like Felix Jones was okay, but they really leaned on Marion Barber until he got hurt.
Yep.
So
They ran him into the ground,
yeah,
man.
and then they brought in Darren McFadden later on down the road, and to me, I thought it was going to be a pretty good upgrade once DeMarco Murray left, because a
Yep.
lot of people talk about Darren McFadden all they want. He just kept getting hurt, but with the offensive line, he ended up running over 1,000 yards.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if I look at Alfred Morris, if he ran behind this line, he would ball, because looks like he has his legs back under him. Seems like he's in better shape. I don't think he was out of shape last year, but I don't know. He seemed quicker.
Well,
He busted off a couple of decent runs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He never was in a bad situation when he was in Washington either. So
Right.
it's just that he just needs to. It's his time to get a pretty good chance, and like I said, other teams could look at him down the road.
Yeah.
I haven't really followed who's playing. I know my Falcons are playing Thursday, playing against the Dolphins, which they picked up Jay Cutler, which whatever. I made a video on that, and
I'm not even.
I
I'm
understand.
not even.
Like I said, I made the video. You can go check the video out. Whoever.
Yeah.
I understand why they picked him up, but then again, he's not ready. Why would you even pick him up? And I understand why they didn't pick up Kaepernick either. To me, it would have been a lose-lose either way because Kaepernick is the better quarterback, but it's a totally different offense.
Man, I'm sorry. This is the thing with Jay Cutler that gets me. I'm not even gonna go on a rant. Like, this is just gonna be like just some general things that annoy me about.
What, he's
this
a bum?
Dude. Jay Cutler, yes. I mean that amongst a bunch of things. Like, okay, let's start with this. We keep hearing about how talented he is. He's in his mid-30s. I don't want to hear about how talented he is. He's a fucking grown man. He's to a point where he's been in the league for what, like fucking 11 years now? 10 years?
Yeah, it's been since
since 07, you would say, right? At least 07. Yeah, I mean, he was with Shanahan. He was with Shanahan in Denver, bro.
Yeah, it could have been 2011. No, he was here. He was here before Tebow, so it had to be like 09?
Dude, he's been in the league since 07. I'm telling you. I can look it up real quick.
I'm looking it up right now. He's been in the league since... No, wow. He's been drafted by the Denver Broncos in 2006.
In 06. Okay, so this man has been in the league since 06. He's 34 years old. I'm tired of hearing about talent. I'm tired of hearing about untapped talent. He is who he is.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's untapped, but, I mean, he has an arm, but that's about it.
But everybody who is defending this pickup continues to talk about his talent. No. But we've seen him before.
I defend his pickup based on the fact he knows Adam Gase's offense. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason why I say I understand why he went there. Now, but other than that, his ability, he's out of football shape. He hasn't been working. He probably been working out a little bit, but nowhere.
And according to what he says, he doesn't need to be in great football shape because he's a quarterback. He actually said that.
Well, that's another reason why he don't need to be on the football field because even kickers are in shape.
It's like he's a petulant child. He fucking pouts when things aren't going his way. He's not a great leader. He makes stupid throws. It's not about the amount of picks he throws. Eli throws a lot of picks too. It's the fact that he doesn't care when he throws these picks. He's not competitive at all. He doesn't care about winning. He can't lead his team anywhere. I think I already talked about his leadership. But I'm tired of hearing about talent. He's 34 years old. Like, stop talking about talent.
No, like I said,
that ship has sailed.
I get it because he knows the offense. Anybody who wants to go against that, that's fine. I get it. You have your opinions about that, but he knows the offense. What can you say?
Right.
So there's a plus there. And I mean, to a degree, that's a safe pick. The Kaepernick, personally, I think he would have been good there because I'm pretty sure he can catch on fast, and he'll be able to. He has better abilities than Jay Cutler, and quite honestly, I think with him being there and in a few weeks, 3-4 weeks, he'll be able to win games for the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. But like I said, you can go into my video and see all the reasons why I don't think it was a good fit. I mean, mainly on the field. Like I said, it'll take him too long for him to know what's going on as far as the offense. I get that. But
I would just appreciate if Jay Cutler never touched an NFL field again. I'm sorry.
Damn, man, it's that bad, yo?
Bro, he's garbage. Like, this dude always gets excuses from these people who saw him play in 07. This is not 2007. Can we stop talking about this man's talent? He's getting jobs over better quarterbacks. And it's just ridiculous. The man got $10 million, $5 million in incentives and bonuses and a $5 million base salary. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, this dude's only won one playoff game in his career. He's been playing for 11 years.
I think he's terrible, but at the same time, he's a viable backup. That's it. He has no business going in to try to start for this team.
Hell no, man. Oh, my God. I was never that high on Tannehill, but Tannehill looks great right now.
If he was to ever ever get signed to a team, Jay Cutler, if he was ever signed, it just backup purposes. That is it. He has no business.
Absolutely.
He has no business being starting of the Miami Dolphins. I mean, the guy's got talent on that team too, and they don't need nobody like him to drag him down.
Nah, hell no. They got a great young nucleus, and he's just gonna ruin it.
Yeah, I agree. What other games that you are looking forward to?
Oh, Wednesday, tomorrow. The Panthers and the Texans, man. Get to see my boy Christian McCaffrey, my favorite player coming out in the draft. My second favorite player, Deshaun Watson.
That dude. I don't have anything against him. I just don't. I don't have nothing against Christian McCaffrey. I just don't think he's going to be as impactful as people saying that he is.
Bro,
I just don't. I don't see it.
Ball out, man.
I think he have one or two, maybe three good runs this entire season. Run for about 700 yards, maybe catch for another 400, and call it a day.
Okay. This season, I don't think he's going to have that much of an impact. This season, as far as being a running back, no. But his future is really bright. He can run between the tackles. He'll be one of the best slot receivers in the game when they put him out in the slot because he's that great of a route runner.
I totally agree with that.
I think the dude is going to have a big impact. The question is, how is he going to sync up with Cam Newton? I already know what he's going to do in special teams. So, I mean, that's not a question. I'm more excited to see Deshaun Watson.
Yes, definitely. Because, like I said, Christian McCaffrey is a great talent. Don't get me wrong. I've seen him play in college. I will agree. I don't get the fit. To me, I see Reggie Bush. And Reggie Bush had flashes. You know what I'm saying? But
I still don't get what happened with him.
But,
completely.
I mean, that's the thing. It's just with Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush was a flashy player, but it was like...
Yeah, but there were a couple years where he seemed like he was learning how to run between the tackles, and then he fell off again. I don't know what it was. Yeah, he rushed 1,000 yards a couple of years in a row.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I see. That's what I see in Christian McCaffrey. I see the same type of player. I don't see him going to surpass Reggie Bush. I think
McCaffrey's more polished, though.
I think
for the NFL game. Like, as far as...
I don't know, because Reggie Bush was legit 06,
Reggie
07.
was legit, but when I look at Christian McCaffrey run through the tackles, he ran through the tackles way more than Reggie Bush did.
That is true, that's true.
I mean, at Stanford, I watched basically every game he played last year when they had it on the Pac-10 channel, and that dude ran through the tackles a lot, and he could lay a couple hits, even though, them dudes like laying hits. He's great in pass protection, which is something Reggie Bush really didn't thrive in.
No, he wasn't good at that.
So, I mean, I look at Christian McCaffrey, I can't really call him an every down back just yet. I don't think he would thrive as an every down back in his first year.
I think he's an every down weapon.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I think he can be on the field. I think he'd be on the field for every down. But I
see him as a Marshall Faulk type. He's not. I don't know now. Obviously, we don't know if he's going to achieve Marshall Faulk's greatness. But as far as the skill set,
I think he's a mix. I think he's a mix between. It's like Reggie Bush, Christian McCaffrey, and further down the line than Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, like as far as his skill set, it's just Marshall Faulk, man. He had such a great work ethic as far as learning about football and learning about the pass protections and how, blitz pickups, and he was a once in a generation player. So obviously lofty standards, but I see the skill set there. So
we'll see. I mean, for him, I don't necessarily see it like that, but I get where you're coming from.
Right.
I'm looking at some other games that may jump out at me. Man, Philadelphia Green Bay looks good.
Philly has a couple of rookies I want to see how they do. I want to see how Carson Wentz has matured. Hopefully he plays, at least the first quarter.
Yeah, he'll probably play like the first 2 or 3 series. I don't see him playing the whole quarter. Not Wentz. I don't.
Because my squad is the Pats. I really don't have many rookies I'm looking at, so I can't really.
Yeah, I mean, y'all playing Jacksonville. That's nothing.
Fournette. I mean, Fournette's going to be interesting. I do want to see how Fournette plays.
Well, Jacksonville do have Fournette, and they got a pretty decent defense, but I'm wondering how many going to actually play in the preseason. I think that's why, to me, it's like I'm looking at these teams, and I see a few players, but they're not going to be playing no more after, like, the first half of the first quarter.
That's the thing, man. This draft is so deep with talent that's going to change these rosters immediately. Seems like these dudes won't be playing many snaps like Myles Garrett. It was highly touted coming out of college. I personally don't think he's that good, but you got a lot of people hyping him up, so I want to see what he's all about. And then they also have Deshaun Kaiser. They have that situation because they got Brock Osweiler as a starter. Kessler was supposed to be the next big thing, and then you draft Deshaun Kaiser, so I don't really know what's going on with that quarterback situation in Cleveland. That's going to be interesting.
Right.
Trubisky, I want to see how he plays, against the Broncos. I think he might be starting. So, yeah, I mean, you got a couple of games this week. Preseason is always interesting to me. There's always that budding star that you don't really see coming who, outshines everybody else in preseason, but it's going to be interesting, man. We got Hard Knocks starting, I believe, next week.
Yeah, and you got the Buccaneers on Hard Knocks. That's the death wish, yo. Whatever team's on Hard Knocks, man, that just destroys that team, man.
Most times it's always an up and coming team that looks like they're going to be promising the next year too. Like, look at the Rams last year. It was like you got a rookie quarterback who's supposed to be pretty good. You got Todd Gurley. You got a great defense, and then they went on and they had bum-ass Jeff Fisher. Thank God he got fired. He's so sorry. But, I agree. Except the year the Bengals were on there, they didn't do too bad.
No, they didn't. But, you know how that goes. They always make the playoffs seem like it.
Oh, another topic we were going to talk about, this is one I really want to dig into, probably the last topic of the night, is analytics. Good or bad as far as assessing players in normal debates. I know teams use it a lot to break down players and break down teams and break down how they can be successful. But how do you feel about analytics being used to assess a player as far as ranking him or assessing him as far as his skill set? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel it hurts, the assessment, or does it help better assess a player? Because I'm really not too much into analytics unless
my thing is always the eye test. Analytics always help for baseball, like you said, but as far as basketball, football, it's always what you see. Yeah. It's always film. It's always scouting a player. Using numbers to say, oh, this player is going to be that. I mean, that's why a lot of scouts get stuff wrong, because they're looking at numbers, or when they are looking at the player, they're leaning on numbers too much instead of actually seeing what they see. Now, for instance, you look at Teddy Bridgewater, for example. He didn't do too well when it came to his pro day, or whatever the case may be. But not on the pro day, but what they saw on his draft day. But his pro day, he did a lot better. Or was it vice versa? It was one of the two. Well, anyway,
I think his pro day was better than his draft combine.
Right, but whoever scouted him, they did their due diligence and really look at him. People can look at the numbers and be like, oh, he was this during one aspect, but turn around and he did this the next time. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to get it right every time. And for the fact that he turned it around the second time, to me, that shows more of a character issue as far as actually being a good player than somebody who gets it right all the time. So if you get it right all the time, what's going to happen when you get it wrong that first time?
Yeah, I mean,
are you able to bounce back? Because we've seen some people who, they're up high, and then when something happened, it takes them a long time to get back up there. So I totally agree.
I mean, I see a perfect example is defensive tackles in the NFL. If we judge defensive tackles based on stats, we would think all of them were mediocre. Oh, well, where's the sacks? Where's the tackles? Like, people don't get 90% of these systems that are run in the NFL, the defensive tackle's job is to eat a double team, clog the middle. Somebody else is coming to make the tackle. So those dudes ain't gonna be up there in the hundreds as far as tackles is concerned. So when you start judging dudes by stats and more importantly analytics, which I hate because basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to create a stat for something that there's not a stat for. Okay, if you tell me that 75% of the time when LeBron pulls up to the right and the shot's contested, it goes in, I'm gonna tell you, guess what? It's still a contested shot, and he has a chance to miss it. Right. Or when he pulls up to the left 75% of the time with a hand in his face, he makes it, or I should say he misses. I can tell you, I've seen him practice that shot a lot, and he has a good chance of making it because that's the spot. You can't account for things like it being that person's spot, him liking the rims on that court, him liking the matchup, or, there's a lot of factors that analytics don't take into account, and that's my issue with analytics. It takes away from the eye test. You know what I'm saying? It takes away from the eye test because the thing is, like, the eye test gets undervalued because now things that the eye test used to account for, they're trying to turn into stats. And when you do that, then it becomes an issue of, well, how do you keep track of this stat? What counts as this? What counts as that? There's been an argument about what counts as a drop for years. Yep. You know what I'm saying? In the NFL. So, I mean, that's a prime example. I just don't really agree with analytics as far as assessing players. Now, teams using analytics to better, come up with a strategy of how they're going to be successful, absolutely. But I'm not going to sit and compare two players and use analytics to do it. I'm just not.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, it makes no sense because, like you said, you have to see what they do. So I totally agree with that. So, I mean, I think the preseason is going to be interesting because, once again, we don't have to look at quote-unquote analytics to see who's good and who's not. So,
yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, analytics, like, another thing about analytics to me is, these analytics guys, a lot of them try to assess players they've never seen play before using numbers, which I don't believe in. If you haven't seen the guy play, don't speak on him. Simple as that.
Right.
I don't care what the numbers suggest. Somebody could be averaging 30 points. You got to look at the level of competition he's playing against. You got to look at the teammates around him. You got to look at the system. There's a lot of things you have to take into consideration before you say this dude is really good, this guy's better than this guy's not good. There's a lot of things that have to be taken into consideration. Analytics just, I don't know, it feels like it's getting rid of the eye test, which used to be the most important part of analyzing a player.
Well, personally, I don't think that's going to get rid of it. I think it's just a part that just doesn't need to be there. Because, I mean, you're going to have the situation where people have to go out and see these players. I mean, there's nowhere else around that. I mean, people just lean on them too much, but I don't think it's going to get to the point where that's all that they have, or they're going to use the majority of the time. So I totally get it. I just think, honestly, I mean, basically what we're saying, is it analytics overrated? I totally think it is. I mean, honestly, I don't even think it's a good scale to actually, judge a player or a team, for that instance.
Football is not a stats-driven sport. Basketball is not a stats-driven sport. Baseball is a stats-driven sport. When you start talking about percentages and how he does against this pitch and how he does against this pitcher, all numbers, I agree. To assess a player in baseball, it's a lot about numbers. The eye test helps, but it's a lot about numbers. In basketball, 90% of the time, you cannot assess a guy by numbers.
Nah, you gotta see what they're doing.
I've seen plenty of times when MJ did not score 30 points. It did not mean he was not the best player on the court.
No, that's true.
I mean, that's just my little spiel on analytics.
Nah, man, I think, we're getting over the hour mark. I think we wanted to close this up. I mean, I don't have anything else to add. I do hopefully, I want to plan on dropping another one, maybe Friday.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of stuff to talk about as far as preseason. I'm going to follow a couple of those games, look at some
Hell yeah.
stats, look at some highlights, because I know I have to
Mm-hmm.
work, but I'm definitely going to look at that. Also, I want to actually try to look into getting NFL Sunday ticket. I'm
Okay.
actually looking into that because I mean I know a lot of people say you can watch it on Red Zone or whatever, but those
Mm-hmm.
just show highlights. I want to look
Yeah.
at a lot of some games that I want to look at, and that's going to be a topic for the season when it starts. Games that we're looking forward to, or games that low key games that interest us, and we're going to
Mm-hmm.
tell each other why.
Right.
I also plan on adding some more people to the conversation once the season starts. I have a couple people who wants to get in on this podcast, and we can talk about that. But I
Right.
want to look into getting NFL Sunday ticket because there are a few teams that I want to watch, and you know, anybody could get the link off the internet, but it's just not the same when you can just watch it the right way. So,
I wish Comcast had some type of option for that because I don't have DirecTV, but Comcast needs to somehow get, or I mean any type of streaming site that wants to do it or streaming service. The NFL needs to make a streaming service for you to be able to stream the games live.
if I'm not mistaken, excuse me. If I'm not mistaken, I think the PlayStation 3 still has that service where you can buy NFL Sunday ticket. I'm not sure, but I remember the PlayStation 3 used to have it on their
Yeah, but I think it was in
store.
my region. I don't think I can get it
Yeah,
in my area.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. But I know I don't know if they still have it on the PlayStation 4, but I think they had it on then they got it on the Xbox One as well.
Yeah, I tried it on there too. It was like, your area. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
why.
so I'm gonna probably look at it good and getting it through those avenues. Probably, maybe even on PC as well. I'm just gonna look and see if I can get it because I plan on getting that. So I'm gonna go and close it out. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. It's about a little over an hour in. Like I said, anything that you want to comment on is all in the comment section. We give plenty of feedback. We will respond if it's some decent feedback. If you don't like what you hear, let us know. If you like what you hear, same thing.
Most important part is constructive criticism, not criticism in general, but constructive criticism. Give them something to improve on. Don't just criticize the show.
I mean, not only that,
does nothing.
I mean, not only if you just want to criticize the show. I mean, hey, bring something to the table that actually maybe that we could talk about, or something you can add on to the discussion. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's not about what you like or dislike, because I take it that if you like it, you've gone this far listening to us. But if you dislike it, you can keep it moving. I mean, if you want to tell us how you feel, I mean, that's fine too. But we're going to keep doing what we do regardless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, anything else you want to say? I'm going to go ahead and drop this off, and we're going to be looking forward to these preseason games.
Nah, I mean, yeah, just please share this with your friends. We need more viewers to get this thing to really blow up and to expand and make it better for our viewers currently. We really need y'all's support. Like, share, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my channel. I got a lot of content coming, so we really need y'all's support.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I think that's it, man. And then I got some other things I want to talk about as far as expanding the channel, but that's going to be behind the scenes. It's just something that's going to be there for y'all down the road. Just got to get a couple things together, and I'll definitely let y'all know about that. And like I said, like Bill said, man, spread the word. We're out here just trying to do this and letting you guys get some content in the middle of the week where nobody else is doing it, and give you something to think, listen to on the way to work, out of work, or whatever the case may be. And I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys take care. Peace.